Hi, my name is Gabe. I'm a resident of the City of Oxnard, and I'm going to be doing a video for you on one of the ballot initiatives put forward to the voters by Mr. Aaron Starr. This video is about the initiative that's titled the Open Meetings Act. There's a number of components happening with the Open Meetings Act initiative that Mr. Starr had authored. I'll start with the very simple ones. First, the initiative is requiring that all legislative bodies within the City of Oxnard, which includes the City Council, all committees, and any of the Citizens Advisory Groups, the CAGs, that they operate under Robert's Rules of Order. In addition to that, there's a requirement that they also receive parliamentary training, meaning they're training them on how to use Robert's Rules of Order and how to conduct meetings in an efficient way as intended by those procedures. Okay, so those are the two simple parts of the initiative. Now let's go to the more complex parts. One of the bigger parts of this initiative is that it requires that no city meetings start before 5 p.m. As it stands now, the City Council currently meets every second and fourth Tuesday for regular council meetings, and every first and third Tuesday for committee meetings. The committee meeting structure was intended for the City Council to work in smaller committees to vet things that would come through to the City Council previously when they would meet every single week. The idea behind this is to have these gone through by the council committee members. They look at it, they often vote on it, or they send it to council for full consideration. One of the criticisms some people have expressed about the committee meeting structure, though, is that it runs during the regular workday. So they'll start about 9:30 a.m. for the first committee meeting and go all the way through to the evening, with different committees staggered throughout the day. As a person who typically works regular work hours myself, I can say that this has affected my ability to be there in person to participate. However, it has not stopped my ability to email, call, or somehow contact my elected officials ahead of time with my thoughts about what the items are that they're reviewing during their committee meetings. Likewise, I'm still able to do that for the regular City Council meetings as well, which typically start at 6 p.m. The other part of this, though, is that it also applies to the Citizens Advisory Groups, or the CAGs. When we look at the Senior Services Commission, for example, their regular meeting happens during the workday as well. Many retired seniors typically serve on that commission. Thus, it's wholly appropriate for that commission to meet during that time because the population they serve is likely more active and more likely to attend a meeting that happens at that time. If that commission was forced to meet after 5 p.m. whenever the regular meeting occurs, how would that affect their regular attendance? Another requirement of this initiative is that city staff pre-record their presentations prior to a city council meeting so that city council members and the public can review them ahead of time, and then when the city council meeting actually comes, the video is not going to be reviewed again, but rather everybody should have seen it already, and they should just move forward with the discussion and the decision. A challenge that would come with that is the time it would take for a staff member to film their presentation, edit it, and put it in a presentable form in order for it to be ready for city council members and the public to review. Speaking from personal experience, I create these videos for the public as well. Depending on the issue, I can easily put in anywhere from an hour to several hours of research, to a half hour to an hour's worth of recording material, followed by an additional 1 to 3 hours of editing to put a video together and have it ready for publishing on the internet. And these are very simple videos that are meant to be summaries of highly complex issues that are happening throughout the city. So going one layer deeper with this, if this were to move forward, let's say that somebody has limited access to the internet or no access to the internet or is not comfortable accessing the internet. How would they view the staff presentations on video if they wanted to see what was going on within their city? Would they have to go to the city clerk's office? Would they have to go to that department director's office? Would a city staff person have to stay with them in the room while they watch it? Or would they have to dedicate space and a television and DVD or internet connection for the public to come in and watch these at request? As you can see, this kind of snowballs as you look and dig into it just a little bit deeper and deeper. Another part of this is in making accommodations to allow people to do presentations or to do PowerPoints during their public comments. I've seen this done a couple times before in the past, in which someone who's going to do a public comment, a resident from the city, will have a presentation prepared ahead of time that can be shown during their 3-minute public comment. So as far as I can see, this is already something that's available. It's just that a constituent needs to request that ahead of time to be able to do that and be able to do it within the time that's allotted for them to do so. The last part of this is a piece that sounds great on paper, but I believe really poses some challenges to the effectiveness and the efficiency of our council meetings. Essentially what it says is that every speaker is guaranteed a minimum of 3 minutes per comment. I know that it's frustrating at times when people have their comment time cut from 3 minutes to 2 minutes to 1 minute, or whatever the case may be. Even last year for the special meeting around this fiscal year's budget, with maybe 120 speakers, everybody was still given 1 minute. That's at least 120 minutes worth of speakers, 2 hours just for public comment. If all of those people were required to be given 3 minutes each, that would mean that would triple that time, and we would have literally 6 hours of public comment. Now, I will say it is frustrating when you prepare a 3-minute comment and now learn that you're only going to be given a fraction of that time, and you have to decide what are the key points that you need to speak on to speak within the time you've been allotted. However, if one of the purposes of this initiative is to streamline our city council meetings and not have them drag on for so many hours, this part of the initiative seems to be contradicting that purpose. As a speaker, I know it doesn't feel very good when I find out that my 3 minutes is now cut down to less time. However, for the efficiency of the meeting, I at least understand why that exists and why it's done. And I don't take it personally. If anything, I take it as a challenge. How am I going to say what I need to say and hit on all my points in the time that I've been allotted? And going back to this point, you are always able to email or contact your elected officials ahead of time to tell them your comment, and then still come and give your comment in person at the meeting. All right, so that's the Open Meetings Act. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments as always. And I appreciate you watching. Hope I was able to give you some great information, and I'll see you next time.